White world. All of a sudden I lost my balance. I was supposed to be in bed in the shelter cupboard, but now I was groveling on a concrete floor. Couldn't see anything in front of me. Still on all floors, I tried to make sense of the situation as best as I could. Did I transfer? The air is fairly warm. There was no smell of burning wood. This seems to be Sphere. But where in Sphere am I? What's going on? Intense pain radiated from the back of my head and throughout my body. A throbbing pain resounded inside my head. Touching my back on my head brought acute pain. Struck by vertigo, I felt nauseous. I tried getting up, but I couldn't even put power into my legs, let alone stand up. What's this? What's going on? I was taken aback. Someone's here. Someone's behind me. Someone's drawing near. Who? Tsumi? Uni? Hitori? Inabushi Kaiko? I turned around right away. Just then... The ferocious strike to my face, I was sent flying. It's the first time I've ever been hit this hard. I've lost control of my body due to the pain and impact of the fall. Someone was bending over me. I couldn't see the face of that someone in the dark. Who? Who is that? What is this? What's going on? It hurts. Someone help me. Got to escape. Where am I? What's it? I'll be killed. The iron taste of blood spread through my mouth. This darkness severely limited my vision. Why would someone do this to me? All my thoughts were in panic. No! No! Screaming, I started struggling recklessly. But that someone got on top of me, pinned me down, and began choking me to shut me up. Painful. Can't breathe. I'll die like this. Don't want to die, don't want to die, don't want to die. I started to flare with all my might. Then my sudden arms connected luckily with the jaw of that someone. Mysterious assailant's hold on my throat weakened. Using that chance, I pushed someone away with all my strength. Crawling on all fours, I managed to put some distance between me and the attacker in the pitch-black room. And then, before my eyes were shelves, quickly as I could, I moved into the space between the shelves. I held my breath. I curled my trembling body, burying my face in my legs. I couldn't silence my breathing. My teeth chattered loudly. I'm likely to end up screaming. I put my fist on my mouth and bit down hard. Couldn't make a single sound. I'll be found. Afraid of the mysterious assailant, I kept my voice held back. How long was it? This someone hasn't pursued me. Not a single sound. It was so quiet my ears hurt. To figure out where I was, I timidly looked around my surroundings. The room was dim. If I'm not careful, this dusty air will cause me to cough violently. On the shelves, I was hiding between many cardboard boxes were piled up. A row of several other shelves were visible. I couldn't see too well, but in the middle of the room, there were many scattered boxes. So, if a storm had hit there, this is the underground storeroom, which means the exit. I recalled the times I'd been here before and guessed the direction of the exit. Quietly, I peeked out. There. In the dim light, I saw the indistinct handrail of stairs to the upper floor. From where I was crouching, it's about 5 meters to the stairroom. Am I in the clock tower? It looks like a spiral staircase and it reminds me of the clock tower. If I make a run for it... Startlingly, I barely managed to cover my mouth. That someone may still be lurking nearby. Or the assailant may have already left. If they're near, just thinking of the attacker made me tremble once more. Someone just now tried to kill me, Satoru. I sensed a spine-chilling thirst for blood. A thirst that made the hair on my body stand on end. I drew my arms around myself. Holding my breath, I strained my ears. They began to ring. Other than that, I heard nothing. Is this someone if this someone is lying in wait, waiting for me to make a move, the moment I take a single step towards the exit door, I'll be assaulted from the darkness. I don't want to move. I'm scared. But there's not a chance that I'll continue to wait here patiently. I can't stand the fear and tension. I have to go. I'll certainly be okay. It's more than 5 meters. If I dash through the room without looking back, it shouldn't take me more than 3 seconds to reach the stairs. As long as I can get out of this room, I'll manage whatever comes somehow. Assuring myself, I mustered up my courage. I stood up silently. My head still throbbed with pain. Moreover, the numbing pain in my face is still here too. The pain made me remember the fear, and my will faltered slightly. I returned to my crouching position. Till a short while ago, I was in the shelter with Uni and Yamagi. So glad I wasn't alone. And yet I'm alone now, scared to death by the presence of a murderer. Why am I alone in this situation? Tears seeped out. I wanted to cry and give up on everything. Yet in my despair, my strength returned. This body is Satoru's. I have no intention of letting him be killed. I'm not alone. No, I'm not alone. I breathed deeply over and over. Once again, I took stock of my surroundings. Not a single trace of anybody, not even a sound. I readied myself and ran to the stairs with all my power. I felt something moving behind me, but I won't look back. I clung to the handrail and quickly ran up the stairs. There's no one in the kitchen. Oh, we're in the basement? I hesitated. Where should I run to? Nothing but anxious thoughts crossed my mind. Wherever I run, traps may await me. Wherever I run, the criminal may anticipate my moves. Wherever I run, as long as I'm in this facility, the criminal will come after me. I was startled. Down the stairs from the underground storehouse, I could hear footsteps, as I thought that someone didn't leave. Their breathing was silent, the strong intent to kill still focused on me. I'm scared. Where do I run? I was stunned by overwhelming terror when I came to the senses and I wasn't running. I ran from the hole to the outside of sphere, delirious from terror. I regretted rushing outside. The sun had already set. Snow fell in the pitch dark. My whole body was chilled instantly. I wasn't wearing anything warm right now. I only have one shirt on. Should I turn back? But if I go back now, there's someone who assailed me, maybe waiting to ambush me. I'm sure that this someone saw me go outside. I'm sure that the person is waiting patiently on the other side of the door. But even so, the air is so cold it stings. My hair and clothing are getting soaked by the falling snow, making me even colder. I rub my upper arms desperately. I'm gonna freeze to death if I stay here. What do I do? What do I do? What? That sound? Don't tell me the door locked. I rushed over to the door in panic, and even if I stood in front of it, it wouldn't open. I'm locked out. Stuck outside in this weather with only a shirt on. Desperation, I beat on the door relentlessly, but the door gave no response. The steel door blocked my way heartlessly. No way. I'm gonna die here if I'm gonna freeze to death. I stood up on unsteady feet. One way or another, I have to go back inside. If I don't look for a way in, even if I do manage to get back, the murderous monster might be waiting inside. Even so, it didn't seem like I could simply put up with this cold. For now, walk away from the building, walk along the wall. It's dangerous to move around at random. The premises of the sphere are really large. It would be disastrous if I got lost. I recalled several incidents in narrow ski resort areas where victims died very close to the hotel. I started to walk around the building along the walls of the facility. I really have no clue where I'm going. Eventually I reached the terrace. From the window, the lights of the living area shone brightly. Surveying the room, there wasn't a trace of anyone inside. Yuni, Tsumi, and Otori, where did they go? They couldn't have. An unpleasant premonition crosses my mind. That someone also attacked them? Shaking my head, I tried to erase that idea. I tried to see whether or not I could open the window. Was the window locked from inside, or would it just not open? In any case, checking out the window yielded no favorable results. I gave up on the window and left. The splitting pain in my head was unbearable and my consciousness was starting to slip away. After a while, a small window came into sight. I peeked inside. It was a private room. My body won't stop shaking. I can't feel my limbs anymore. Walking with my dull legs feels like swinging massive logs. My vision is blurry too. If I don't hurry up and do something, I'll collapse soon. Peeking my best to regain a bit of dimming consciousness, I peeked inside the window. Whose room is this? It was dreary inside. I saw something like a notepad on the desk. I recognized the deep red coat hung near the window. This is Satori's room. Clinging onto the small hope that it would open, I tried pushing the window. Didn't open. It's no good, huh? Why won't any of these windows open? And then I remembered Satoru's room. During the day, I'd opened the window to ventilate the room. Yuni closed it soon after, but I don't think he locked it. Let's go to Satoru's room. Since this is Satoru's room, where was it again? Where did I go next? Advance along the wall to the left side. To the right? Yeah. Began to walk towards the terrace. If I remember correctly, Satoru's room is this way. My steps are certain. Due to the incessant snow and wind, just crossing the terrace was laborious task. My physical strength was being snapped by the cold. Can't even walk in a straight line. Can't reach Satoru's room, it's just a matter of time before I pass out. How did things end up like this? What did I ever do? Thinking of my hopeless situation caused me to start sobbing uncontrollably. The tears won't stop. The tears running down my cheek felt unbearably cold. Walking in a daze, I reached another room, tried to push open the window. Why wouldn't it open? I don't remember locking it. Leaning against it to take a look inside. So the dark room, women's clothes were folded along the top bed. This is Itsami's room. Damn, I was wrong. Satoru's room was on the other side. Should I go back? I considered that for a moment, but I shook my head. It's impossible. In the snow, I can't circle around the building and make it to the other side. My legs won't move anymore. I'll go inside from here. I eagerly brushed away the snow from the hands that felt like sticks. I thought about looking for a stone, but I couldn't find one. My vision was blurred. My body was numb from the cold. I suddenly felt a hard object with my numb fingertips. A stone. A stone the size of a fist. I don't even have enough strength to grip it. Holding it between my hands, I lift the stone up. Using every bit of strength in my body, I heaved the stone against the window. Over and over again. Like a madman, I keep pounding away at the rock. Then, it broke. I thrust my hand in through the crack, turned the crescent lock, opened the window. Luckily, the interior window wasn't locked. Warm air wrapped around my body. I'm saved. Tears flowed out from the sheer relief I felt. Even my numbing limbs had started to feel pain again. I hurriedly entered the bathroom. I warmed my hands with hot water from the shower. I gritted my teeth as I held my hands under water so hot it made me instinctively want to spring back. Gradually, feeling came back to my fingertips. Sensation of pain returned, and because I had suddenly made contact with the hot water, my body got goosebumps. Gazing into the mirror, I noticed that Satoru's face was a mess. It was wet and soggy with tears and snow. The lips were a ghastly blue, shivering from the cold. I also used the water to wash my face. Pleasant warmth sank into my body. Alive, I'm alive. I smiled without realizing it. I was stranded out in the intense cold by the murderous monster, but I had managed to return alive safe. I laughed as the warm steam washed over me. I'm alive. Eh? Suddenly I felt a sharp pain near my waist. Turned around slowly. Someone was standing there. Couldn't see their face. Next, a piercing pain through my back. I realized that a solid, sharp object had pierced through my body from behind. I'd been stabbed with a knife. Collapsed into the bathtub. Blood began to pour from my body. From within my body, from my fading consciousness, I saw the face of the person raising the knife overhead. You're... Oh, are you kidding me? Story is not finished yet. Truth is not revealed, and it circulates through an instant. It is an infinity loop. Are you kidding me? Oh, wow. Okay. Oh my god. First death of the game. Wow. God damn it. I guess I'll try going to Satoru's room then. I thought it was to the right. Shut up. I thought it was to Satoru's room because I'm like, I was imagining the rooms, but I was imagining in the way we had drawn the map. So I was looking at it the opposite way that Cocoro was. So Cocoro was facing it from the bottom. So to the left would have been Satoru's room. That's why I chose the right, because I thought I was looking at it from the other end. Oh, that messed up. Perspective's a bitch. Oh my god. There's no doubt about it then. It's Itsami, isn't it? I mean, it's just too much of a coincidence. Itsami wasn't in her room. Well, I mean, yeah. Can I go back? Oh, this is this is back here. Okay. No. Also, I need to start using quick loads. My friend told me. Okay. That's weird. Oh, shortcuts. I got shortcuts. That's actually pretty cool. I like how when you put your mouse over it, it doesn't come up with a thumbnail, but then when you like scroll up, it changes. That's hilarious. So I'm guessing this is the one I need to go to. All of a sudden I lost balance. I was supposed to be on the bed in the shelter cabin. Yeah, this is the bit I'm going out to. Okay, I'm going to jump cut to the choice. Okay, advance along the wall to the left side. Began walking to the left. My steps are uncertain. My physical strength is being sapped away from by the cold. Can't walk straight anymore. If I can't reach Satoru's room, it's just a matter of time before I pass out. How things end up like this? What did I ever do? Thinking of my hopeless situation caused me to start sobbing uncontrollably. The tears won't stop. The tears running down my cheek felt unbearably cold. Walking in a daze, I reached another room. Satoru's room. I mustered up the last of my strength and ran to the window. Pushed open the pane, I easily opened the window. I'm saved! I relieved, I almost rolled my way into the room. Warm air wrapped around my body. I'm saved. Tears rolled out from the sheer relief I felt. Even my numb limbs had started to feel pain again. I hurriedly entered the bathroom. I warmed my hands with hot water from the shower, gritted my teeth as I held my hands under water so hot it made me instinctively want to spring back. Gradually feeling came back from my fingertips. The sensation of pain returned. Then because I had suddenly made contact with the hot water, my body got goosebumps. Gazing into the mirror, I noticed that the Satoru's face was a mess. He was wet and sluggy with tears and snow, and the lips were ghastly blue, shivering from the cold. I also used the water to wash my face, pleasant warmth sank into my body. Alive! I'm alive! I'm alive! Oh, are you kidding me? I turned around slowly, someone was standing there, I couldn't see their face. Next to pacing pain through my back. Oh, do I have to walk away from the building then? Instead with a knife, the murderous monster had been waiting for me to return to the building, like they had been watching my movements from inside, in order to ambush me in Satoru's room. I collapsed into the bathtub. Blood began to pour from my body. From within my fading consciousness, I saw the face of the person raising the knife overhead. You're... Yep. Boy. Okay, guess I'll walk away from the building then. God damn it. Alright, walk away from the building. Now I decided to walk away from the building. It's because I felt the murderous monster was watching my every move. They're planning on me coming back inside the sphere in a panic. The murderer probably has that in mind. I set my freezing feet in motion to start the walk. Stepping firmly into the snow, I decided to take refuge in a part of Sphere where the light didn't reach. With Sphere's gate locked behind me, I advanced diagonally to the right. It wasn't all that easy to walk into the thick snow. Every step I took sapped my energy. And then there was the snow. The falling snow was slowly narrowing my field of vision. A blizzard is near. When I turned around, the lights of Sphere were so small I was surprised. I was obstructed by the snow. This may be within the premises of Sphere, but one wrong move and I'll be lost. If I lose my way, I could get into hypothermia and lose consciousness and freeze to death. I need to set a reference point. What should I use for reference points? A little troubled, I decided to use the basketball court. The basketball court should be slightly illuminated. Even if I get lost, I can use that as a landmark. Treading through the snow, I advanced step by step. I started to lose feeling in my fingertips. They had turned a violet color, but to the extreme cold, my teeth clattered. How long has it been? Cold. I collapsed on the spot. It hasn't been more than 10 minutes since I left Sphere, but I've lost all feeling in my arms and legs already. But if I stay here, I'll die. I started moving my frozen limbs and tried to advance further. As I raised my head, I was horrified. The snow had completely closed in my field of vision. This is a whiteout. What's a whiteout? Hang on. Whiteout. A weather condition in which the field of vision is obscured by white due to wind-blown snow in the air, greatly diminishing one's ability to discern vertical, horizontal directions in this distance. It can be described as a white darkness of sorts. This is also another form of whiteout, which is caused by diffuse reflections from snowy surfaces, clouds, and the like. In this case, the air becomes saturated with white light, rendering movement and the gathering of visual information virtually impossible. Okay. Can't see anything. Which way should I go? My cry was sucked into the white darkness. I'm going to quick save here just so it's easier to go back, and I'm gonna stop. If I advance blindly, I'll just end up getting more lost. Keeping my emotions in check, I stopped moving. As the snow continued to fall, it began to erase my tracks. The cold air pierced my body the same way as a sharp sword would. I muttered in the snow-white world. I'm sorry, Satoru. No good, I guess. Despair took hold of my mind. But suddenly the wind blew. The white curtain disappeared for an instant. In front of me I could see the basketball court. Let's go! Digging a path through the snow with my shaking hands, I began to move. I made it! After reaching the court, I followed my earlier path back to Sphere. With this little detour, the killer should lose me as well. At last I arrived at the terrace of Sphere. Held my breath, I quietly looked for someone inside, but there wasn't a single trace. Hoping for some warmth, I clung to the window pane, but the glass didn't grant me any comfort. Yumi, Yutsi, Itsami, and Hattori, where do they all go? Unpleasant premonition crosses my mind. Isn't this just... Yeah, it's a repeat! Okay, I already know how this is gonna end, so I'm just gonna quick load. Advance along the wall, thingamajiggy, now I'm going away at this. Where do I go next? Oh, what? Oh, it's the choices. Okay. These are both the same things. They make a quick save for each choice? Well, I don't know about that, but... My cry was sucked into the white darkness. Go forward. If I stop here, I'll die. I continued fumbling my way through the white darkness. The perfect whiteness of the storm obscured even the tips of my own fingers from view. I had no clue where I was. Am I heading towards Sphere, or maybe I'm heading the wrong way? I soon lost track of all that. Nothing but a pure white world without end. Terrified, I screamed out loud. My cry too was sucked into the pure white darkness. In the white world that enveloped everything, I fell down. Cold snow covered me. Oop. There we are, we got through it. I was laying on the wooden bed. The air was painfully cold. My breath settled down. This is the shelter cabin. A small fire was burning in the stove. However, to me, who had been walking in the snow, the blaze was a much appreciated blessing. I'm saved. I flew to the stove. I grabbed to the stove, almost hugging it, but I immediately realized my mistake. I'm not safe at all. Satoru's body was still in the snowfields and Sphere. Only my consciousness only transferred there. And at the exchange Satoru in the snow, I took out the VR. Turned on the switch and patiently played it. No messages from him. I pushed the recording button. I'm so sorry. If I haven't been locked out. I couldn't move in the snow anymore. Please, someone, somehow, be safe. I shut my eyes, pressed my hands together, and started praying. While trembling from the cold and praying, I desperately hit the VR switch. Wait, what the hell? Already? I had transferred again, collapsed in the snow. My limb switch were frozen stiff, won't move. I couldn't even close my eyelids. The snow struck my eyeballs. I had stopped trembling. I couldn't even feel the cold. I couldn't hear anything. All I could feel was my heart pounding as if it was defective. I slowly lose consciousness. I fall into the pure white darkness. I fall. What? Circulates through an incident. Is an infinity loop. I think that one's different to what came up before. What? What can I do then? I think that was the only other option. So obviously a choice I made before did something wrong. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm just going through this again to see if there are any choices I didn't do. So let's quick save. Walk away from the building. So go forward. Did that come up with any choices in the end? I don't think it did. Now stop came up with the same two choices from before. But what if, since we originally started walking away, those two choices changed since we didn't go to them as fast as before? That's what I'm curious about. Go to the left. Ooh! 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 It did change! Okay, I don't know why it's skipping text I haven't been through before. I need to change that. Already read messages. I haven't read this though. Bullshit. Okay, I'm gonna quick load and go back there. Also, I'm going back to this one. I would go back to this one. I would go back to the one that's like right. I would go back to this one, but I'm not sure if that's the original one or if that's the one after going away from the building. So I'm gonna go back here. Stop. Go to the left. Warm air wrapped around my body. I'm saved. Tears flowed out from the sheer relief I felt. Even my numb limbs had started to feel pain again. I hurriedly entered the bathroom. I warmed my hands with hot water from the shower. I gritted my teeth as I held my hands under the water so hot it made me instinctively want to spring back. Gradually, feeling came back to my fingertips. The sensation of pain returned. Then, because I had suddenly made contact with hot water, my body got goosebumps. Gazing into the mirror, I noticed that Satoru's face was a mess. It was wet and soggy, with tears and snow. The lips were ghastly blue, shivering from the cold. I also used the water to wash my face. Pleasant warmth sank into my body. What I really wanted to do was get into the bathtub, but I couldn't afford to be too carefree. After I'd warmed my body to some degree, I left the bathroom to change my clothes. Searched through the closet for something suitable, and changed into a warmer shirt. The inside of Sphere was deathly quiet. Not a single sound could be heard. Herb no one was around. The someone who had attacked me must still be in the facility. No doubt about it. Right, the lock. If I lock the door and shut myself up in here, I can avoid the impending crisis. I ran to the door. I was about to put my hand on the knob. At that moment... Was that a scream? I'm guessing because I don't have voices on, I didn't get to hear it, but I'll just trust Cocoro. What sounded like a scream had reached my ears. I could hear the wind and other high-pitched sounds, but... That voice... Was it Uni screaming? Had Uni been assaulted by someone? I peered out of Satoru's room. The kitchen was dark. I frantically strained my eyes. Couldn't see anyone in there. What do I do? The voice I just heard definitely sounded like it was screaming. Moreover, it sounded like Uni's. The someone may have decided to target Uni instead of me. At that moment, right now, the assassin's knife might be pointed at him. I have to save him. I heard noises. They'd come from underground storeroom. Uni, you there? Are you okay? Lowering my voice, I called out to him. There was no reply. I'm scared. Someone may burst out at any moment. I'm scared. I bit my lip and stepped forward into the dark kitchen. Step by step, I advanced. Peering down the stairway to the underground store, and I called him out to him. Uni, if you're there, answer me. No reply came. Silence so total it was painfully insured. The stairway leading to the basement yawned open like the jaws of a monster. It was pitch black downstairs. I stepped into the darkness, slowly climbing down the stairs. I'm scared. Really scared. Because of this overwhelming terror, my legs wouldn't stop shivering. Cold sweat streamed down my forehead. My throat was dry. I raised my voice in the darkness that ascended into the underground storeroom. Please, if you're there, answer me, please. My voice was coarse. Swallowing my saliva, I continued. You alright? Silence was the only reply. Maybe the scream was a figment of my imagination. I should go back to the room. As I nodded to myself, I put a hand on the handrail. And then at that instant, a sudden noise made me jump in fright. What was that? I focused my eyes and squinted to see as best I could in the darkness. At the edge of my vision, I saw a small rat run past me. I sighed of relief and put my hand to my chest. Oh, it's the rat. Eh? At the moment of relief, from the darkness, the shadow of a person rushed out. Kya? I was pushed aside by a strong force. I tumbled to the concrete floor. I sensed that someone behind me. Frantically turned around. Because of the darkness, I couldn't see the person's face. Instead, I saw something else, something dreadful. In the dark, shining softly, was a knife. Ooh, boy. No! I frantically waved my arms in front of me, trying to push the body of that someone away from me. Oh no!